You're watching Bermuda Grass Central, changing the world 1 yard at a time. Okay, yard fanatics, look, one of the things you need to do is to go ahead and get whatever watering device that you're going to use to water your lawn. I prefer these ones right here because they lay flat on the ground, all right? The ones that you actually stick in the ground with the spike on the end, I don't prefer those because when you're watering and the base of it gets wet, it tends to loosen itself up, and from the pulsating motion of the water, it starts to wiggle and it won't stay still. So yeah, get one that has a base on it. This particular one you see in this video, I think it covers about 3,400 square feet from front to back, side to side. So generally I try to stick with those. If you guys have a sprinkler system, of course you can always adjust the water, the timer, basically how long you want the water, because it's not going to be based on time, it's going to be based on water penetration. And like I stated before, you need to water thoroughly, water deep. I had people ask me, how do you tell how deep it is? They have tools that you can actually push down into the soil and you'll pull it back up and it'll actually show you the soil level and the wetness or dryness. But if you don't have that old school screwdriver that's about 5 to 6 inches long, will work. All you basically do is just push it in the ground. If you could penetrate 5-6 inches with a little resistance but not a lot of resistance, then it's watered properly. Generally when you pull that screwdriver out of the ground, it will be wet. Now if you push it in the ground in about 3 or 4 inches, you're starting to hit hard earth and it just won't go anymore. That's a sign that you need to water it a little bit more and get it in deep, guys. Look, I'm gonna turn that water off, and I also want to show you this. One of the things that you're trying to do is you're trying to keep the top part of this hydrated. All right, when you water and you water to the point of runoff, that's when you need to cut it off, your sprinkler. All right, now having said that, only you know your yard better than anybody else. So if you're watering your lawn and you notice after about 25 minutes you start to get runoff, you know you got a 22-23 minute window on that particular part of your lawn that you can water without it running off and the water is being absorbed into the ground. If that's the case, you know, let it cut it off, find another spot to water, move to another section of the yard, depending on what side your sprinkler operation is. And like I said, I don't have a sprinkler system, so I have to walk back and forth, but I don't water my yard. I have a video for that. But if you're watering your yard, you have to find another spot and water while this part is kind of soaking in what you water. All right, here's another tip also. Okay, yard fanatic, here's another tip also. If you are watering your yard and you know you're gonna be watering it all day, if it's time to fertilize your yard, cut your lawn first, then go back and fertilize it, then turn your sprinkler system on or your watering device. Water until the point of runoff. With Bermuda grass, you want to get a good soaking, and you can do this anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. It's all going to depend on what type of weather you're having. If you're having 100+ degree weather, you may have to do it 3 times a week or maybe even 4. But the best time to actually water your lawn is early in the morning. I said 6:30 last time, but depending where you are, anywhere from 5:30 to 6:30, start watering your lawn. And you want to get this done before that heat starts to rise, that temperature, because the temperature will actually evaporate the water out of your soil. So you want to make sure you get that done first thing in the morning. Water thoroughly, guys. Do not do the 10-15 minutes and you're happy with it. No, you have to water it thoroughly.
Now guys, that watering thoroughly means, like I said, 30 minutes to an hour. It could vary from yard to yard, but basically that's about the time range that you're looking at. Now also, make sure that you check your watering device. As you can see, mine has a little flaw right there. This is not a bad sprinkler head. You can also check the hoses and make sure that all the air pressure is going through so you get full pressure. And there are videos on YouTube that show you how to fix, the little sprinkler head issue I have right there. And last but not least, guys, one of the major things when you're watering your yard deep, I've already worded it earlier, but try to water the areas that are affected by the drought first, or the areas that are sitting directly in the sunlight first. Those areas tend to need a little bit more time for that water to penetrate the soil and to get deep into it. The areas that have shade in it, they normally need less water.
Another thing you can do too, if you find like spots in your lawn that seem a little bit more dehydrated than others, you can tackle those straight up with just a regular water hose. Let me show you. Across that little small patch of dry grass that you feel is a little dehydrated more than the other part, you don't have to drag the water hose around or run the sprinkler system. You can just get your regular water hose head like that, turn it on, and just water that spot. Like I said, you can water it until runoff. Make sure you're doing this in a cool shade, man, or after the sun and went down. You don't want to water your lawn in the middle of the day. First of all, let's get that straight. So it should be late evening. And what I mean late, the temperatures have dropped below 85 degrees, or first thing in the morning. But just water like that, guys, and really, hard to reach areas like that right there, because you don't want to run the sprinkler system or the drag a water hose and water the concrete like that also. So little areas like that that's hard to reach, just get your little head like that. Stay there for 15, 20, 30 minutes to run off, and you can stop watering. Like I said, this is not something you're going to do every day, guys. 2 to 3 times a week. If it's raining, you do not water your yard. Another thing you need to know also, let me get in front of the camera for this. Look, the water out the sky is way more beneficial than the water that's coming out your spigot. All right, the one that comes out your spigot generally has stuff that they use to clean the water. The water out the sky is all natural, straight up H2O. After you wash that layer of smog out the sky, you got nothing but rain. But the water you put on your lawn has chemicals and most definitely has fluoride in it also. So what does fluoride do to grass? Nothing. But it's just another chemical that's added that's not natural. The best watering you're going to get is going to be from Mother Nature herself.